Hey guys, how's it going? January 28th, 2022. Back on Railroads Online. Forget what the hell I'm doing, but we'll figure that out later.
Been a day.
Yeah, it's been a day. Wow. So another update or something or two, I don't know. I don't even know what train I was running. Oh, gotta get on. Okay. We are here. So we got no sheets as far as I know. I don't know if anything has been updated. I haven't heard as far as, because there's been so many different sheets. So I have no freaking clue. It also means I can't save 44D, double D, or whatever the hell the stupid thing is. What was I doing, Emmett? I can't remember what I was doing.
Don't remember.
I can't remember why I'm here. This car's here. Is this my train? This ain't my train, is it? It wouldn't be that long. Where's the Eureka? The map is useless because it hasn't been updated. Well, I mean, it has, I suppose. Or is that me parked in here somewhere? I think that might be me. Or I'm one of these. I went to chase a meat or something, and then I know what happened. I was dozing off, and I went to follow somebody. I'm supposed to be down south. Because I was dozing off, and I wanted to continue the server, so we're here on a Friday night. I don't know how many people are joining us. Bob was saying he thinks we have enough people. I don't know about that. What do you think, Emmett? Emmett! I says, Bob thinks we have enough people. What do you think?
I think we need more people.
Yeah, so do I.
Just me.
But here's a double-edged sword.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where it really starts to hit home with me.
Mm-hmm.
Depending upon what happens with Run 8, I would hate to bring on a bunch of more people just to leave them lying.
Yeah.
So if there's a few people, and you know, then I mean, I'm not disappointing anybody right now because nobody's on.
Yeah.
At least not yet. Bob's around. I think Bob's around. I don't know what he's doing, but he's on. Oh, no, they're all coming. Chris is coming. Just as I spoke, they're coming. I would expect a Chris and possibly a Bob would be here. Bob just sent a message about within the last half hour, so he's probably waiting to see when the hell I was coming on. Generally speaking, I think we're at 3 to 4 people, which I think originally, I think Bob was saying ideally it would be 4 to 6. I haven't seen it consistently get into the 5s lately. It happens occasionally. But with all the changes, I don't know what the hell to expect right now. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like the fact that they're updating a lot of stuff, and I know I'm in the beta branch. And I still think I would rather be in the beta branch because I really don't want to go back to snow flurries or whatever else they're doing. I don't even think they've made any update to the main thing. Here comes Chris. So what does this show? This Survivor Sean server. Really weird. Do you want to run, Emmett?
Yeah,
I'll keep you awake.
I'm good.
You gonna fall asleep.
I'm trying to stay awake.
Well, it doesn't matter. It's a Friday. I don't give a rat's ass.
Yeah.
Do what you want. I'm already yawning. Not good. They really need teleporting. And no, I'm not putting the damn extender in. Oh, there's a train here. I think this is where I bailed and I found out they were having a meet or something, and after they had their meet I jumped on a train and that was it. Alright. So, I had the empty train. I don't know. Well, at this point, I imagine I was backing up, or I was going to back up. The tank should still be derailed or something. Yep. Okay, so we have some empties here. Maybe that's what I was thinking of doing. So I think I'm taking some more empties back and trying to load this up. So we got 20 pipes. I think I was. So it certainly wasn't to get any more of that stuff. Hey, Chris. How's things going?
I'm waiting for the snow.
I've got enough snow.
Yeah, it's our turn now.
Oh, lucky you. You guys don't get that much snow.
We're supposed to get anywhere from 1 to 2 feet tomorrow.
What? You're in New Jersey,
we're
aren't you?
on the coast.
Yeah, you're in New Jersey.
Yeah, on the coast. I'm on the coast, so the coast is supposed to get anywhere from 1 to 2 feet.
What?
Well, I mean, chances are I'll wake up and it'll be 3 inches and that'll be it, but, you know.
That's
They
crazy.
claim it's going to be between 1 and 2 feet.
We just had 1.5 feet a couple weeks ago, and that's pretty big for us. Does happen, like, I mean, it was a blizzard, so we do get them every 5 or 10 years or so.
Yeah, I don't know. They're saying it's like a blizzard combined with a nor'easter, combined with a hurricane. I don't know.
Oh, is that what that stuff they're talking about? Yeah, I don't pay attention to the news. I heard something about I was watching or listening to a podcast, and somebody was talking about ready for the storm or the hurricane in the snow or something. I'm like, what the hell are they talking about? So yeah, the last one we had, it was a nor'easter. That was a nice blizzard that we had up here a couple weeks ago. Then we had an Alberta Clipper, which hasn't been much, but then it's just been freaking goofy snow and wind every day. It's not bad. It's just annoying. It just keeps happening. I've been shoveling. It seems like every day for a little bit for the past week and a half, 2 weeks now.
Yeah, and then the most annoying thing for me is I stupidly agreed to work tomorrow, so now I have to wait to figure out whether they're going to have us work or not.
Fun. You usually work on weekends?
No, I'm a Monday through Friday, but the problem is the company's cheap, so they laid off all the seasonal people they hired, which means now they have nobody to work on weekends, so they have to ask all the regular guys to come in on the weekend.
Lovely.
In regards to what you were talking about before, I had the YouTube up before. I do think we could use some more people. I don't know how to get more people, but I think we need more people.
Yeah, I know Bob was recruiting or something like that. I think he said he was doing that. Was it yesterday or Wednesday or I don't know which one it was or whatever. He mentioned something, and I think it was, I'm pretty sure it was a public. Hopefully it wasn't a private, but anyways, it's not a big deal either way. But I know he mentioned, talked to him about it too. I didn't really reply to it, but I kind of thought I didn't want to reply to it because we were talking about, with Run 8 and its impact and everything. But yeah, it's hard to say where our base is going to be in the next little bit too. I can't speak for you. Bob, he told me, I think he said he wasn't getting it until the end of the year or the end of the school year, or unless he retires or gets locked down or something like that. So I guess he's, basically he's saying he's too busy for it right now, but that he will eventually get it. But no, I got it. I kept trying to talk myself out of it because I was just like, actually my son was trying to talk me out of it too, but it didn't work. Eventually I gave in. I was just like, yep. I don't regret giving in either.
Hey, like I told you before, I understand you want to play other. Doesn't mean you have to play one game and one game only.
True, but I put a lot of, how would you say, I try to be loyal to people who, either follow me or are into something, and it's kind of weird for me because usually I go all out on something. Like if I'm into a game, I'm usually pretty all out, just like I've been with Railroads Online, like 6 days a week or whatever. I threw up a schedule up there that seems to be, pretty good. Like right now, Run 8, for whatever reason, I can't get it to host the server. I think it's my port forwarding, but which it's worked in the past, so I'm not too sure what's going on, but I'll figure it out. But like I said too, I'm also like if there's really nobody else out there as far as recruiting, that like you said, that probably leaves us at a shortage, and then I don't know what goes on after that. As far as like put it this way: if I was to play by myself, and there's times even when I'm down here, I was yawning earlier just before you came on. There's times when I'm down by myself, and it's without the teleports and without having a lot of action, it does get tiring for me. I know that. This was before Run 8, because I was starting to feel it a little bit. Not bored of it, but just it actually relaxes your mind so much that you, if you're tired, you start dozing off. And I've been feeling that way a little bit lately, and now with Run 8 I kind of realize why. It's because there's there's stuff going on, but there's really not much going on, which is interesting, because the one thing I've wanted in Run 8 for years is smaller territories that you can handle. So I think there's a fine line between what you can handle and what you can handle and what doesn't put you to sleep or whatever too. Because when that whole update where not this past update, the past update I haven't really looked into as far as the dollar figures, but I wasn't a big fan of that last update. That was the first time I saw an update I was just like, ugh. And that was just because now you load up 2 tank cars like in no time. It takes, I forget how much it takes nothing to load up 2 tank cars, and I'm thinking to myself, it's already a pain in the ass just to do them, but the whole idea is to get enough money and experience points so you can buy crap. That's all that's for. So it's not really focused on the operations. It seems to be focused more on avoiding doing any kind of grinding whatsoever, or any kind of activity that, that's, I find it's somewhat challenging, at least.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're trying to cater to all the people who are complaining that they don't want to do all the grinding.
Yeah, and that's what I'm sensing too. And in that case, I haven't really posted. I haven't really said. I haven't even been on the. Honestly, right now, a lot of my information focus is on Run 8. I'm trying to get as much information as I can about this. I haven't. That's one thing I have not been doing, is I have not been keeping up with what's going on in Discord, as far as other than RTS and what's happening with Railroads Online and RTS, and I have not been keeping up to date with the Railroads Online Discord, because I've been more focused on what's happening in Run 8 now with all the new stuff, and trying to figure out how things are working, because it's such an intensive change compared to where version 2 was. So that's where my mind has been. But yeah, if they're going to edit, if they're going to have a little button that allows you to select what level of physics you want, there should be options that allow you to decide, what you want, what type of, numbers you want for this industry, and how fast do you want them to produce, and all that other stuff, so that you can tailor it fine. You can tailor it for everybody else, that's fine. But on the same token, you got to be able to tailor it to the ones that may not want to, have every single engine to just say they got it. I've never been that, I'm not, yes, there's some engines I'm curious and interested about, but other than that, I'm not really interested in every single engine. I wasn't, for the longest time, I wasn't interested in the other 2 engines. I finally got them, but that was more out of necessity, and I didn't mind at least one of them. I haven't even driven the Climax yet, so I don't even know what that's like.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Obviously, we don't know, or at least I haven't seen anything on the Discord, I don't know what their plans are. Are they gonna, obviously they added choices for realistic physics or not. Maybe they will eventually add the ability to change the values for production and everything to change the difficulty levels and whatnot.
Yeah, it could happen. You never know. But I'll wait. I'll wait and see for this. For now, I still have an interest. I feel, and Bob kind of hit on this. I feel as though Run 8 is going to drag me away from this at some point. I just feel it. The only person that could potentially keep it going is my son, who's sleeping right now, and he doesn't want to run a train. Right, Emmett? Yeah, see, he's sleeping. Yeah, he's sleeping.
Well, I mean, you were at least playing Railroads Online almost every single day, so you also might have just burnt yourself out on it.
It's possible, but I think it's more about Run 8. I honestly think, yes, I was already maybe getting burnt out from it, and a lot of the updates were coming fast and furious, that it was hard to take control. I lost the ability to update sheets, so I had some plans there. Now I really don't care at this point of implementing a lot of the ideas I had with the sheets, just because I don't even know. I have no idea if Minisworg's been updated, and who knows. I'm not saying well, Ian's got to update everything either. Ian's probably exhausted from all the changes. From what I could tell, he wasn't too happy about all the changes that were taking place either. So, but then again, it's beta, so it has to come to expect it. So.
Well, yeah, there's that, and I don't know him as well as you do. I'm curious, how much contact does he have with the developers? Did they give him any heads up at all?
I have no idea. I don't know.
Honestly, his program should just be integrated into the game anyway, and they should just have him work on their team.
Yeah, I don't know how close he is, and really, I mean, Ian's only started contacting me privately because he was noticing I was using his program, and he saw some of the tutorials I had that uses it and uses his sheets and stuff like that. So. Know where Bob is. Says he's online.
So I'm not familiar with Run 8. I didn't even know it existed until you brought it up a couple of weeks ago or whatever. I played, I think I have Train Simulator, but I haven't touched it in probably, I don't even know, 5 years. What is the difference?
Run 8 is by far the best train simulator on the planet physics-wise. It is whatever you've learned, whether it be Microsoft Train Simulator, which it was for me. I've even ran trains more recently. Whatever you've learned in those simulators and thought this was what a train simulator is. TSW is not that good of a train simulator. It's more of an eye candy, for example, but TSW Train Sim World. But when you see, as far as you would have to take a look at I don't even know if the YouTube gives it justice because the graphics are not that updated. So it's not as big. I mean, they're good. They're not as good as they're actually not as good as this, to be honest. But the worlds are obviously much bigger. You have and multiplayer. I feel bad for you guys when you get the multiplayer that you get on the client side. When you're a client with Run 8, I mean, it's like being on the server. I know that firsthand because I've hosted and I have been a client, and it's the same. I mean, there's no real difference in being a client and a server. You get the same experience, and they do multiplayer better than anybody. What got me away from Run 8 was the fact that Run 8 was very influenced by multiplayer. It always has been. And what really started happening was a lot of the territory that they have is so freaking huge. Now, they don't have a lot of territory. They control what territories get brought into the game. They control all the content. There's no user created content. So they control the rolling stock, the power, and the routes, or the regions. There's 3 regions. There's the Southwest region. There's the North. It's all North United States actually. The Southwest region consists of California, from all the way from into Long Beach, LA, up the basin through Cajon Sub, up to Barstow, which is a big, one of the bigger hump yards. There's also West Colton hump yard for UP. It's got the Mojave sub and the Bakersfield sub to the north. The Mojave sub, of course, has Tehachapi Loop as well. It goes as far south as the northern section of the Seligman sub to Seligman, the Needle sub. That's all one region. All those subdivisions in full modeled pretty much realistically 100% 1-to-1 is modeled in full. In the Northeast, you have it based on Selkirk, which also includes the region. Also includes the Mohawk sub. These other routes are add-ons that you can buy. So, for example, if you just want to buy the base game is going to give you the Needle sub and the Mojave subs. And it'll give you it gives you the Needle sub and the Mojave sub. So you basically, all those other subdivisions that I mentioned are add-ons that you have to purchase if you want them. You don't need them. You can run without them, and you can still run on servers without them. You can have a server that has every single region, and if you just want to run trains in between those territories, you can. So the Northeast has two of them. It has Selkirk, which is its main, the Selkirk yard, and it runs all the way out to. How far does it run out to? I can't remember. It runs Selkirk. It runs along the Hudson line, both sides of the Hudson. The line that crosses over Selkirk that heads towards Boston, and Albany, and Schenectady, and I know it goes a little further. It goes further west, and then it joins into the Mohawk sub. And Mohawk sub is another add-on, so it goes further west all the way up to just past Syracuse. In the Southeast, you have it based on the A line is your main route, and that is I'm trying to remember what the other road is. But the A line is one, and that runs just north of the funnel at Folkston, Georgia, all the way down to Jacksonville, the yards there, and it runs all the way to Taft, Florida, which is I think Orlando. Yeah. So it runs the A line, former Seaboard coastline, A line, I guess it is. Once you get the northern part, which I think it's Waycross, which is a huge hump yard in the southeast, and it also goes, I believe, up to Savannah. Yeah, I think it goes up to Savannah, Georgia, where they join back in or they cross or something. I forget what it is. It's been a while since I've run it. So that's the southeast. So that's another one that has two routes. And they're talking about other regions too in version 3 because they've played around with the resources. But it is, I mean, if you look on my channel, you will see a lot of videos on Run 8 in the past. And of course, what I did the other night. So I have my channel was very heavy into Run 8 up to about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. All the way, probably we're talking about 8 years, I think, has been its existence right now. I think 8, maybe it's been 10. It's got to be getting close to 10, it seems. But yeah, it's been around, and it's a really good program. It's not as well known because it's not as popular. It doesn't have all the eye candy, but it is it's pretty good. Run it www.run8studios.com is their website. They don't have too much on there really to look at. There's a few screen captures and what some of the stuff has and some of their add-on content and whatever. So it can get costly with download content, but I can tell you right now, I don't have every piece of download content. I don't have the Seligman sub, for example. I don't have the Bakersfield sub. But I do have, the Arvin. There's Arvin and Lone Pine Branch, which is a small extension. I don't have the... Did I get the Lone Pine? I can't remember. I can't even remember if I got it or not. I don't think I have it, but maybe I do. I'll have to check that out. I can't remember if I had it or not because I gave up on Run 8 about a year and a half ago. So now I'm back into it because of version 3. And what version 3 did is the big thing there is it has AI dispatching. That makes a huge difference. Version 1 did not have any AI whatsoever. It was just multiplayer or single player. You either run by yourself and you can run into... It's very similar to this world, which is basically you leave all the stuff that it's kind of you basically what's the word I'm looking for? It's like it's open concept or whatever, where you basically you don't build the tracks like in this. This is what makes this revolutionary, in my opinion, is you actually build the tracks, which is interesting. Which really sets itself apart, in my opinion. It's not so much the Steam. I'm not that interested in Steam. But what Run 8 did in version 1 was it introduced multiplayer, and it did it really good, and it did the physics really good. Those are the two key ingredients. And they started out with Mojave sub from Bakersfield to Barstow. And then the next route they came on was Needle sub. Now, as of version 2, they combined both of those are included in the base game, and so you get a lot. You get a lot in the base game. You get an operating hump at Barstow, and so version 2 they brought AI trains aboard and a few other features. The fact that they brought AI trains actually helped. Give more of a feel of traffic for such a busy line, even if you didn't have as many people on a server or whatever. and especially in single player, it gave you the ability to see other traffic. Version 3, they brought on the AI Humper, which allowed the hump to actually automatically hump while you could go do other things in the yard or go someplace else and run or switch a train or do whatever you wanted to do. You teleport all around and go wherever you want and run whatever trains you want. You can run a train for hours if you want, or you can run a train, set out a few cars, go find another train and take over that, or set that to AI and they continue on its journey. You can dispatch as well. Something I always enjoyed doing in all versions of Run 8. Haven't done it in version 3 yet so much, but I'm just getting into it again. But yeah, the fact that there's an AI dispatcher now, it's not perfect. That was the one that brought me back in, because it was something that I felt was needed, but they never really talked about it. They brought a turntable in, which doesn't mean anything to me. The fact that they have a turntable in Los Angeles, I don't even run into Los Angeles right now, so I'm not worried about it. You can do a lot of switching. It's you go to the industries, you actually leave the cars at the industries. They can dwell. But it's a really, really good program. It always has been, and I think somebody was on the other night, and I was mentioning it. I recommended at the time version 2. I says if you've never had it, get it, because I highly recommend it. But at the time, I had no interest in getting back into it because that's the thing with these guys. They are very good with customer service. They will answer their emails very quickly. They will deal with issues, or whatever you're having. If your registration's not working or something like that, they will help you. But public relations suck. They don't take criticism well. They don't like people who, like myself, who will criticize on a YouTube channel or on a forum or whatever. They don't like speculation about what's coming. They don't like, and not only that, they don't tell you what's coming. They are very tight-lipped as to what's coming. Whenever something is being created, they say it'll be ready when it's ready. They don't give you any idea as to when it's going to be, what's coming down the pipe. I have no idea what's coming down the pipe with them. I couldn't tell you. Other than the fact that they've mentioned new regions, I assume smaller regions are coming. They did say they were going to do that a couple years ago. I assume that's coming, but yeah, version 3 I highly recommend. Just like version 2. And version 3, I think has a lot more legs on it now. Because despite Emmett saying he thinks I would get bored of it, I don't think that's going to happen. And if I don't have, put it this way, you lose people here, like when it's just the two of us right now, right? If you lose people in multiplayer and you're just doing this by yourself, it can get pretty boring. Would you agree?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it depends. I like doing switching, which doesn't really require other people, but it can get boring, yeah.
Yeah, it's just, well, what happens is you lose. What I love about multiplayer is either multiplayer or activity-based systems that somehow have it in play to do things. What I like about it is it gives a sense of the railroad being alive and just not you. Like, for example, you're running a train. Say I run this train and all of a sudden I go get another train to pick it up, which I do. I mean, I've been running the Switcher down here. I run the Eureka. So there's 2 trains I've been running down here. I may, after this, go find some other trains to run as opposed to running this route, because nobody, we don't have that many people. And when we're low, that's when I feel it even more. So that's where that's what Run 8 version 2 was starting to feel like for me. I had all this AI dispatching. Well, the AI dispatching meant nothing to me towards the end, because all I was doing was dispatching. I could dispatch the line, so I was dispatching and running the hump at Barstow, which is kind of what I'm doing right now, except I'm not dispatching now. Now I'm running the hump at Barstow, plus I'm able to run the trim and run the entire yard, and I'm actually able to switch other industries or other yards while that's going on, because I don't always have to trim at Barstow, and there's not always a train coming in. So Barstow has its lulls too. And now what the potential there for me is, yes, in single player I'd be fine, but in multiplayer it could really be a lot of fun. So multiplayer for me now it's become, in Run 8, it used to be almost a necessity for me to enjoy it. And then it became really important. And if you lost numbers, it really started to drag on you. Or if you didn't have anybody, or if you were just coming on, you're the only person on, it really felt lonesome. Like if you had two or three, a small group of a few people, it still wasn't too bad. But you weren't always able to get those people in at the same times and stuff. So we're fortunate, our group, especially here with Railroads Online, that we are able to get at least 2 or 3 people, it seems, most nights. I forget the last time I was by myself. But, so now it's become, I see it now as, that's just icing on the cake. Because now I know I can run what I want to run in a certain amount of time and keep myself busy for the entire period, keep myself entertained, and if I just happen to have more people that come online, it's just an added bonus. So that's very intriguing to me, and I see a lot more legs, and I got my money's worth on Run 8, the original Run 8, and all that I spent for download content years ago. Like I was into it for years, and it was only the past 2 years that I hadn't been into it. So now, of course, now I'm back into it. So that's my story. That's basically Run 8 in a nutshell.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have to check it out. I don't know if I'll buy it, but I'll take a look at it.
Sure. Yeah, there's a lot of YouTube. Well, there's I have some YouTube. There's others that have YouTube. You'll find I got more critical of Run 8 before I gave up on it a couple years ago. I was starting to get more critical of it because they were talking about a version 3. They kept talking about a version 3, and we had no idea when it was coming. The last update to the program was in 2019. So it was, I think it was late 2019 so it was just over 2 years. This finally, it was kind of ironic to see that last update, and literally we were not getting any public updates as far as any public information, any press releases, other than a few posts here and there. So that's the negativity. That's the downside of their public relations. The good part is, now I'm not too worried about it, because I see there's a lot more legs on version 3 than there are anything else that we've had. So version 2 was a huge change between version 1, but we had a lot more people on our servers. Now I'm starting from square one again, so I don't know how many people I'm going to have. I'll have some regulars, I'm sure, but yeah, it looks very, very promising. But check out there's a lot of YouTube out there. I'm sure you'll see some of the version 3 stuff, of course, what I've done, and some good shit.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'll check out your version 3 videos. I've been working, so I did catch a little bit. I played it in the truck while I was driving, but obviously I can't really pay attention while I'm driving. I can only listen.
Oh, of course.
I don't know that for me, it might be just something I might want to play every once in a while, whereas this is more something which I don't even necessarily want to play Railroads Online every single day. I don't mind playing it exclusively as the only game I'm playing right now, because I've told you that's how I tend to play games. I'll focus on one game. But like that's why like on Wednesdays, I know you mentioned nobody wanted to use it. I just kind of take that as an opportunity to not play that day and just relax. Usually, like I didn't really do anything yesterday with it.
Oh yeah, and I'm usually the type. Well, put it this way: when I'm really into something, I get very exclusive over a certain program. I tend to play one game at a time for a period of time. There's some that I go back to, but I have not done that since, I believe, Railroads Online. Railroads Online was where I could see myself getting heavily invested into, because it was the only train simulator out there that was for me. And it reminded me of Run 8 in many ways, and I think it was, I mean, obviously it was better than Run 8 version 2 for me. Now all of a sudden Run 8 version 3 comes along and you're just like, okay, well now what? Because, put it this way, if Run 8 version 3 came out with what I had expected to come out with it, which might have been an AI hump, I wouldn't have been so hot on it. In fact, I probably wouldn't have bought it. I was still, I put it this way, I wasn't prepared to buy it right away. I was going to hold off for a bit and wait and see. And because I wasn't sure. There was a few features that weren't perfect, and I think they missed on some opportunities. But when I saw what that had, just that AI dispatching, and I mean, and it's not a perfect AI dispatching, nor does it need to be. All it has to do is be able to move the traffic. The AI hump was a good thing. It was definitely an improvement, but it didn't. I mean, it only took away some of the duties of myself if I was running solo. The AI dispatcher took away a huge duty for myself, because then I could focus on running trains and, even though that dispatcher is not perfect, and it's not, it does a pretty good job nonetheless from what I could see. And that was, that for me was a bonus. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, that for me, that's something I would play quite a bit. And I've already set up a proposed schedule, as far as, haven't heard too much from it or other people. Tuesdays, Bob's never around, or I shouldn't say he's never around, but he's hardly around. So I thought Tuesday would be a good day to play it. Fridays I thought were okay, but I don't know what's going on. So if it's just us, it's not a big deal. I don't have that much time on a Friday night anyways.
Yeah, I looked at the schedule. I mean, Tuesday's fine, because eventually I'll probably start going back to my Model Railroad Club on Tuesdays and Fridays, or Tuesday or Friday. I don't know. Right now I'm only going on Fridays. I didn't go today because it's snowing and I didn't feel like dealing with that.
See, that's the thing right there too. If Bob's not around on a Friday, and if you're going to go on a Model Railroad Club, it just might be me. I think that was the one time it was just me, and I was actually thinking about not doing it on Fridays. But then again, Saturdays, and the reason why Saturday and Sunday morning are important is because he sleeps. Me, I usually get up. And if I'm excited about something, which used to be Railroads Online, now it's going to be this, I'm going to get up. I was up early today doing research for run 8 about 6 o'clock this morning, even though my alarm's for 7. And I just couldn't get back to sleep because I was all excited. I had been thinking about this all week before I bought it. I knew I had to get it because I just couldn't get it off my mind. It was that literally overwhelming. It wasn't a bad thing. It was a great thing. It was just, I kept on thinking about it, and it was just like I was really starting to feel it again. And it was kind of a cool feeling. Now the cool thing is, I want these guys to succeed. Unlike other I can do without other train sim games. I don't care about that. I can even not bother with something that some of these games that I love, like Subsistence and American Truck Simulator. American Truck Simulator, I got a lot of the states, so I have some investment into that. I haven't played American Truck Simulator at least since early fall, so that's something. But I don't need to. American Truck Simulator, I don't need to play it. I'm the type of person, like I say, very similar to what you do. You like playing. You like to focus on one thing. This is new for me, focusing on 2 things at once. So I'm going to try it because I do believe that these guys are onto something. And I'm excited to see where this goes. Plus it's different. It's a different thing, and my son likes it, and I mean he likes trains too. I mean he really likes trains. I liked trains for a little while, but I gave it up. He's still big into that, but he likes creating things, so.
I think that's the only reason why this is probably still going to have more draw for me, because I like the ability to lay out the lines and everything, and I'm sure as the game develops more, there'll be more buildings and structures to add, and that goes back to, for me, I think, the model railroading tie-in almost.
Well, if you like the model railroading tie-in, number one, okay, yeah. So what you're talking about is the building aspect of model railroading. If you like the operating model railroad, if you like the operating aspect of model railroading, you'll love Run 8. That is the ultimate virtual railroad, in my opinion. It's something that actually was something I could count on when the Model Railroad Club was too far away, or it didn't run enough sessions or whatever. I basically wound up leaving the Model Railroad Club that I still have good ties with, but I ended up doing Run 8 for years with, and I was fine. So yeah, that's the operating side of things. For operations, it is just, I mean, just not just physics. Operations are huge too. So.
Yeah, so that's like I said. I mean, I could probably see myself. I'll have to check it out more first before I commit to buying it. But I could see it being something. 2, maybe even 3 nights a week. But I'd still probably come back to this just because of how much I enjoy getting to lay out the lines and making my own decisions on how I'm going to do all that, and that just ties into, me and my friend are the one who basically planned out our entire club's, track plan and everything, and we're still working on it. There's still, it's a multi-level layout, so there's still a whole 2 other levels that we haven't even gotten to yet. So I enjoy the planning and the research and everything like that, so that's the tie-in, I guess, to this game.
You should check out. I'm not too sure what your club is, but it's not my club anymore. But the club that I last belonged to, who I still, I can. If it wasn't with the COVID or whatever, I can go visit at any time. And Waterloo Regional Model Railroad Club. They model the Sudbury division. They're like the La Mesa Club. They're in a Quonset hut, and the plan is there for 6 levels. We're up to 3 right now. And so there's helixes, there's It's a division point club. So you got Sudbury, which is a city in northern Ontario. It's based off of the Canadian Pacific in the 1970s. So the 1970s is the era. Canadian Pacific, Sudbury, and they have a division at Sudbury, and then they have the Cartier sub and the Webwood subdivision, and I think the nickel sub. They all basically converge out of there. So there's like nickel mining and copper mining and all that other stuff that's up that way, and lumber is another industry up there as well. So it's a cool club. That's one you should look into sometime. It's just to see it. But what is your club based on?
Yeah, so before I say that, no, I've seen pictures of your club then. I didn't know that was the club you were in. I've seen pictures on Facebook. I haven't gone to like their website, but I've seen people post stuff from it, so that's a pretty cool club. I have seen that before.
Oh, awesome. Oh, cool. That's good. I never knew much about it until what happened. I was on a double headers tour up, which is basically runs up in southwestern Ontario. Just like a layout tour type thing, and that's where I actually. Sorry, no. The guy Ted Kosola is the guy that got me into that. Now, Ted Kosola is a member of the club, still is one of the executives, and he did a route called a Mac Tier sub for Microsoft Train Simulator, and he did some of the Ontario lines for Microsoft Train Simulator, and that's where I got to know him. And he basically got to know him online and whatever, and then he mentioned to me about that, and we met at the club during the double headers tour, and they were always looking for members, and I thought it's 45-minute drive back and forth. Sorry, no, it's not 45 minutes. An hour and a half. So it takes a while to get up there. So I think it's about an hour and a half. Now that I think about it, is it 45 or an hour and a half? I can't remember. Maybe it's 45. Hour and a half sounds dumb. I think it's an hour and a half in total, but it's a lot to go back and forth, and but I enjoy it. It was fun, but I like the virtual stuff now.
Yeah, so my club is the Ocean County Society of Model Railroaders. It's obviously in Ocean County, New Jersey, and so we have. I don't personally like this aspect of the club, but whatever. We have two different gauges in the club. So you have the O gauge members, and then you have HO. Personally, I would prefer if we were all just modeling one gauge, but whatever. So the O gauge guys are across the hallway, and they have theirs is mostly done. We moved a few years back from a different location to the current location, so their layout is mostly complete. And they're not specifically modeling any area, but they're modeling O gauge, so it's more toy trains than it is modeling trains.
Oh,
and then my side, the HO side, we're specifically modeling. So we're doing what today would be called the North Jersey Coastline for New Jersey Transit, but the time period we're modeling it for is the 1950s through 1960s, when it was operated by the Jersey Central and the PRR jointly operated it. So it's actually referred to as the you have the Southern Division, which we're also modeling, and then you have the New York and Long Branch, which was jointly operated by the PRR and the Jersey Central. So we're modeling it from South Amboy, New Jersey, down to Bay Head, New Jersey. That's the main two levels. So we have a helix connecting those two levels. Well, we have a helix connecting all three levels. So those two levels are like built already, but we haven't done the second level. So like the first level we have is South Amboy to Red Bank, New Jersey, and then you go up to Helix, and then that'll be Long Branch, New Jersey, down to Bayhead, New Jersey, which works out because Bayhead in real life has a return loop. It's the end of the line, and there's an actual return loop. So we just modeled the return loop the same way. And then we're putting in a third sub-level, which will go under the main level, and that'll be the Southern Division from Red Bank down to Lakehurst, New Jersey. And that's mostly going to be modeling the freight operations. I don't know that we're going to operate the passenger operations. They only lasted until 1952, and then it was strictly freight on the Southern Division from that point on.
Cool. Well, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, and then, you know, you can still operate whatever you want on it. We're not like telling people they can't bring their Santa Fe stuff if they want to operate Santa Fe, but eventually when we get around to doing operating sessions, it probably will be limited to, if we're doing, you know, the period that we're modeling, it'll be limited to it'll be limited to Jersey Central lines and PRR, and then if we do like a modern operations night, it'll be limited to New Jersey Transit, Conrail, Norfolk Southern, and CSX.
Oh, that's cool, man. Yeah, there's nothing wrong. I don't mind the open ones. I like the prototypical ones myself, but like I've always been more into operations, even track planning to some degree, electronics. So, sorry guys in chat. I've been totally forgetting about my chat there. So I did read all the chats as well. So glad to see you guys are out. I have my kiddo sleeping here, so he hasn't been keeping me up to date on what's going on because he's sleeping. I'm down south right now, I think I'm gonna bring some. I don't know what. Yeah, I gotta get some lumber back up again by the looks of it.
I'm in the yard. I'm just setting up trains. I don't know that I want to get overly involved with running anything, so I'm going to try to set up some stuff so people can just jump right in tomorrow and hopefully run trains if they're going to play.
Alright, sounds good. Yeah, tomorrow I won't be on until... I don't know what's going on. I put the proposed schedule for, like I said before, it's not in stone just yet, but because I was doing Run 8 on Thursday, I don't know how long I'm going to be doing Run 8 tomorrow. I know I'm going to be doing it tomorrow morning, then we're going out. So, whoops, I don't know where I'm going here, but yeah, so I'll be going out tomorrow afternoon. I don't know if I'll be on like in the afternoon into the evening or what yet, but Sunday I do plan on running, but it'll be up in the air. I'll keep you guys posted as to what's going on, and hopefully you guys let me know too, like Bob or whatever, to let know. Obviously you're working, so I don't even know if you're not gonna be on tomorrow, are you?
Yeah, so like I said, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't know if we're going to end up working or if they're going to call it and say stay home, because it all depends on whether we actually get the amount of snow that they're calling for. As far as your schedule, like I said, it doesn't bother me if you want to split your time between two games. And if you're looking for my input, it's going to be better personally for me if you want to play Railroad Onlines in the evening on the weekends, because usually, like I said, I do go in for like 3 or 4 hours on Saturday to help out, and then on Sunday I usually go see my girlfriend in the morning and spend time with her. So
yeah, and that's cool. Yeah, as far as the import, what I was talking about too is trying to figure out when people are going to be on or want to be on. But that's cool to know. So you like, yeah, mainly like if it's going to be on the, well, was it on the weekends or the, yeah, weeknights or whatever. Sometimes weekends too. You'd be available at night. I think you said, correct?
Yeah, nights. I usually I get done between 7 and 7:30 at night. So usually you'll see me on here between 7 and 8 o'clock at night, depending on how early I finish on weeknights. And then just the weekends, like I said, it's usually going to be the afternoon or the evening for me, just because sometimes I do work on Saturday. And as the springtime comes, I think I might have mentioned before, I do have a group of friends that we're working on restoring an actual PRR caboose, and we'll probably get back to doing that on Saturday during the day.
Yeah, I think you mentioned that. So, yeah. Also, Comrade was talking. He put his name out there as far as taking over a save possibly. So I don't know if that's something he may want to do on a Saturday or whatever. I haven't heard any more from him, so I don't know. Usually I don't see him until the weekend. So, but
did the game just crash for you? Because it crashed for me.
No, we're up. Haven't saved in a while, so I should try that. Not that I have done much.
Yeah, it crashed, and I even got a report. It said Unreal Engine crash report.
Oh, that's weird. The other thing I have is it's been sitting like for 2 years as a rail driver, which is basically a control stand for operating. And I got that back out beside me now. It's too bad this doesn't allow it, but different controls, I suppose.
Yeah, that sounds cool. I mean, so it looks like an actual throttle stand?
Well, it looks like a desktop throttle stand, so it's got a bunch of buttons that you can program, configure to different keys. It's got independent brake, the air brakes, throttle, dynamic brakes, neutral, reverse, forward, a bunch of buttons like for bells, and there's a horn, like a little joystick flipper thing that you can quill the horn with, sand, light switches, front and rear. So it's nice. I think they still make them. They're called rail drivers. They're nice. It's like nice desktop model. It's about the size of a keyboard, a little bit taller. It's got a bass as well too. That although I don't have it hooked up, that can basically add the bass to the actual controls. So the vibration of the engines or whatever, you feel it in your hands. But I don't use that part. I just use the controls. Yeah, I won't. I would definitely, from what I can tell so far, I would not be leaving this full time. Or sorry, full time. I guess at both of them I'm in part time, but everything's part time. I wouldn't be leaving this cold turkey or anything like this. It's I enjoy this just as not. I won't say just as much because I don't know how I feel exactly about Run 8 and comparing the two is like apples and oranges right now for me. So all I know is other train simulators. I have no interest in. Yeah, and I do have trains, and I did a lot of work in trains, but I have no interest in that. And I got nothing wrong with trains. It isn't for me. Others out there, I had Train Sim World for free. I removed that from my hard drive. That was just useless. So I certainly enjoy this, and I'll continue to do this as long as the demand's there and the interest is there. And if it's just down to me, or if it's something that just doesn't seem that interesting to people or whatever, perhaps I would be more inclined to consider just coming back once in a while just to try it out with updates or something. But usually I'm not like that. If I do that, I would probably just stick with Run 8 at that point, because I'm not the type who would just check it out. And because there's a lot of games I have like that I used to like. Subsistence is one. They've had all kinds of updates, and I used to play that quite a bit. And I don't know what their updates are anymore. There's other games that I can think of. American Truck Simulator is another one, and that one I loved. And that I've never gone back to, or I never miss it enough that I would go back to it if I had the time. If I had the time and all that other stuff, but I like committing to it, spending a few hours on a night or a couple nights in the week and just going at it. So I think having the two games right now, or the two sims, or whatever you want to call them, that might actually give me a nice little balance so that I don't get burned out in either one. So I think that's probably a good thing. Hey, Dork. Did you have a good nap? You want to drive choo-choo? Yeah? Oh, you want to drive choo-choo? Oh, is that why you woke up? Was I too loud? Did you want to drive choo-choo? Yeah, man. Huh? Huh? Oh, you're good. Okay, you're always good. Go back to sleep. One of these days I'll fix that derailment, but not right now. Gonna put a save in. Get that computer on so you can check my live stream, dude. Hey, Dork, I'll give you something to do. Hey, Mark. Good to see you back. No, I wasn't leaving. I'm still here, Scott. You gonna put computer on? Okay, guys, I'm going. I'll put the. Be back in a few minutes.
Where is he?
Okay, I'll put it into the chat there for a second. Let's see if my son wants to get the laptop up for me. Yeah? Okay. Holy smoke. Then we'll finally get that train out of here. Switching around with two trains, just trying to get the empties to get the hell out of here. Be right back.
thing's acting weird.
What's that?
This thing's acting really weird.
Wait.
Computer. This computer.
Why is it acting weird?
I don't know, anytime I press a button, it makes a beeping noise.
It makes a beeping noise?
Yep, and the screen sometimes darkens.
The
And
buttons.
nothing wants to load.
Give it time. Oh, this thing's making a beeping noise, that's why. You got this thing here. Oops. What was that? Duck, duck, go, go. Okay. This thing it gets stuck. That's why.
So exactly do you want to go?
Go to YouTube. No, don't cancel that. Cancel that.
There you go.
It was trying to do a reboot.
Close. What's out?
It's okay. Open it up again. Alright, I'm back.
Where is it?
Number 2, leaving the oil fields for depot via the diamond.
Where is it?
Thanks, buddy. There's an interesting thing they added to Run 8 too. Well, they've always had hotbox detectors, but they've got derailments now. Although they're minor, the minor ones where they just fall off the track or tip off the track or whatever. But they have also they have EOTs that have batteries. They have engines that require maintenance or can break down and all kinds of other things. But the way they re-rail the trains, now you can automatically basically grab it and set and re-rail it or clip it or whatever you have to do to it. It's not a physics model as far as the physics re-rail or physics derails like it is in like Derail Valley or here. But it's interesting, one of the re-railers they actually use the re-railer ramps. If you want to do it the hard way, you can set up a re-railer ramp, which are these things that just go up against the rails that literally will re-rail a car or whatever off from the truck to get it back onto the rail. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, I saw a video. It was like a short 4-minute video on that the other day. It came up in my feed. I watched. It took a lot of effort. Whoever it was, I don't remember who posted the video. It took a lot of effort to actually get them to derail, and then yeah, I saw the yellow re-railers he used to get it back on the track.
Yeah, that was crazy when I saw that. I was like, wow, that's neat. I honestly, I haven't run the trains that much other than the engines in and about the yard. I love screwing around in the yards, and I love dispatching too, which is kind of weird for somebody who is praising the auto dispatcher. I tend to like dispatching, but I also like being a train master, where I basically, keep an eye on the entire railroad and, work different yards or make sure that everything's, basically running smoothly. So I kind of like I kind of like that aspect of it just as much. So, yeah, it's an interesting thing. We got a lot. We're still learning the ins and outs of it as well, so that's kind of interesting. Huge learning curve. Frogs. Yeah, I guess Scott says they're called frogs.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I guess the other frogs are that keep the cars on the switches. So yeah, Scott, I was tied in the email or whatever. Your custom train method is. I don't know. It may work after you put the actual symbol. You may be able to get away with it. After that, I don't know for sure. You'd have to try it. But two things I would check, Scott, is I would look at the section of the manual on when it talks about auto, and that's of all the PDFs you sent me. That's basically their documentation. I forget which file it's called. Something about working with the AI dispatcher, I think, or something like that. And then the other one is a video that Jason of High Rail put out the other night. It was a live stream when we were doing it. If you check that out, that will explain a lot with auto, and there's a utility out there that they have right now that you can modify routings, so you can use your own symbols, but they still want them in a particular format. But then again, like I said, they might allow letters afterwards, and it might pick it up, but I'm not sure about that. I'd be curious to see. But you might have to stick with the actual symbols, the actual mainline symbols, and then have a list or something if you're trying to figure out where things are going or whatever. Ah, you found the PDF. Okay. Like I said, you might be able to add stuff after it. I was surprised to see that you can actually add the date, or it'll automatically do it actually, which I think is a bonus. Oops. Whew. I'm yawning again. Yeah, maybe Bob went and got run 8.
Possible.
Maybe.
You used to like it.
I started laughing. Emmett laughed too when I said that. Hey Ash, how's it going? Ooh, stop yawning. Now, of course, a lot of the reason why I'm yawning is because I was up at 6 a.m. this morning because I couldn't get back to sleep. I had a look at the live stream from last night for Jason that he put out and try to figure out some of the tricks and trades and all that other stuff. Oh, I'm doing good. I'm trying to stay awake. fall asleep during wrestling. I guarantee you. Well, I don't guarantee you that. If I sit up.
I'll try to keep you awake.
Yeah, the XML tool looks interesting. I'd be curious. I think tomorrow morning I might take a look at the Northeast or the Southeast for just something different to try out, because both of them have had enhancements. Northeast, the North. What's that?
I'd like to see the Mohawk.
Okay, well, I might be able to get some stuff. I'd have to set up some stuff, but I might try the Northeast and that I would run both. See the Northeast and the Southeast. I would currently run both of them because I think I can handle them.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of industries in the South, but
Well, I mean, there's a hump yard on both. So
well, that's fine.
there's a lot of stuff. Every rail has a hump.
So you're saying the Northeast, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Northeast going on.
Yeah, I have a soft spot for the Northeast.
I have a soft spot for it because it's the closest to anything I've ever seen before.
My only thing with the Northeast is I'd be curious how as far as the AI dispatching, I don't give a rat's ass, to be quite honest, because I want to deal in making sure Selkirk is running and run whatever trains need to be run. So
Yeah.
Selkirk is expanded. Hopefully it's not going to cause any issues like it used to, because it used to have a goofy bend where it derailed and stuff.
Yeah, I heard about that. No, I think they fixed a lot of things with Selkirk.
Well,
Selkirk
we'll
looks
see.
a lot different.
We'll see.
I guess I shouldn't say that that's the closest I've ever been, because I've been to Georgia, so
Yeah.
been to certain places on the line.
I like the Southeast. I enjoy the Southwest too. I still enjoy the Southwest. I know it's huge.
For me, it's just too much.
Well, no, that's why I don't have LA loaded right now.
Yeah.
You got to pick and choose.
A lot of parts of San Bernardino, I like them too.
Yeah, I know. Same here.
I like a lot of parts of San Bernardino. I'm just not really interested in
The
LA.
Bakersfield sub looks interesting too, and
I'm interested in, and I know it's already so big, but the UP Fresno would be interesting to me.
why?
I don't know. I think it's a more interesting line. It's not as high. It's not as high profile. I think it's not as much traffic, but I think it still has some industry. So I think it's a line where it has enough traffic to keep it interesting, but not too much traffic to too much traffic.
I don't want to give up Barstow now. I mean, if anything, if I give up Barstow, I may do West Colton.
West Colton's interesting.
Well, West Colton is weird.
Yeah, I've heard that much. But
No. It's not that it's weird. It's West Colton, and I know West Colton's receiving works because I saw it. We saw it happening last night. Were you down here when it was using the receiving? West Colton?
I don't think so.
Oh, it adds to the receiving tracks.
Oh yeah.
It'll automatically go in there and it will start stacking up.
Cool.
The first train came in, it went into the first one, and then it switched itself into the second receiving track. I was like, this is cool.
That's cool. Yeah.
So something is still weird though. I haven't got an answer. I notice nobody's given me an answer, and I don't think
They
I
might
guess.
not have one.
Well, maybe Jason doesn't even have an answer too. To be quite honest, I do not know why. The routing says it goes to main 3 only at Bakersfield. So it's supposed to route it to Bakersfield. Hey, there's a train in there. Crap, I should have gone down the right track. Who's at the freight depot?
Where is he?
I gotta get these cars. I'm flipping cars here. For California, I prefer West Colton. See, the reason here's the reason why I could, in theory, do San Bernardino and maybe even LA, although I don't really want to do LA if I can help it. If I run exclusively UP, which is something that I've done before, then I get the Mojave sub and I get everything in the back. I don't have to worry about needles. So I can run all the way to Bakersfield to West Colton.
Question: do they have Jacksonville in the southeast?
Yeah,
How much of it do they have?
a lot.
Because there's a lot of subdivisions out there. There's like 6 subdivisions that start in Jacksonville.
Well, okay. They do not have the S line, is it? They have the Florida East Coast, the very start of it. They don't go beyond a little storage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Florida East Coast is not the most interesting line.
They have the NS Diamond,
Yeah,
but they don't have the line really.
yeah.
They have the was it Duval or whatever
They have
the
Duval Yard.
the intermodal.
Yeah. Duval Yard's the big one.
Yeah.
And then there's a subdivision that goes through there that goes through downtown, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's the I believe, well,
Because then that leads to another subdivision, which is the short line, and then there's also a short line that goes off. Into
yeah, the short line.
Port.
Yeah, that's the
It's the Jacksonville Port Authority or whatever it's called.
they have the line that goes to it.
And then there's another one that just takes boxcars. There's this one that just takes a bunch of boxcars. That's a whole short line.
You sure it's not the reefers? Because they
pretty
have the
And then there's the
Florida Juice Train or whatever, and the
There's-
reefer.
there's-
So there's all kinds of facilities in Jacksonville, but
And then out of Jacksonville, there's
Orlando is the big one.
Yeah. Out of Jacksonville, one goes northwest, and there's a line that goes northwest and goes straight out, and there's a CSX Diamond. I believe it's a CSX Diamond over another CSX track. I forget what that.
There's a Diamond over
Baldwin
NS.
is the name of it.
Baldwin Yard, yeah.
Baldwin Yard, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't have Baldwin.
Oh, it doesn't have Baldwin. Okay.
No.
Because that's an interesting one because it's a hump, I believe, too,
Yeah.
and that also continues with another short line. So,
Yeah, they're extending Waycross down to Manchester. I know that.
cool.
Nothing wrong with West Colson. It's just something off about it. Well, you got to go up the hill. You got to keep going up a hill to hump. Is kind of weird. LA have it. I just don't. I just don't care to play that portion. Yeah, yeah. It's too much. LA's a freaking. I don't need that much switching. Yeah, really, when you come to think about it, Orlando's the same way. In the southeast, I don't like to have that much switching to do in Orlando.
I haven't seen Orlando.
Oh frig, Orlando's nuts.
I remember it being a larger one. I mean, Orlando in real life does not have that much industry. Jacksonville's the one with more industry. It's more industrial.
Well, they do have industry.
But Orlando
Jacksonville
does have some industry, and I guess that could probably be expanded because most of it's in industrial parks. So
Yeah.
it's a lot easier. How far south does it go? I don't remember much about the southeast. Does it go down to Miami or where's it go?
It goes to Tampa.
Cool. How much
There's-
do they have down in Tampa? Like, do they have?
No. They only go to Orlando.
All right.
They only go to Taft in Orlando.
All right. They stop at Taft. Yeah.
They have a line that goes to a coal mine. So there's like a spur that goes off to a coal mine that's non-signaled, so that's okay.
Oh yeah.
Can we just stick to Mojave? Jeesh. No, I like Barstow. I don't want
Mojave's
to.
nice.
I don't want to just do Mojave.
There's a lot of the subdivisions there which I like individually. Like I like probably my least favorite is like Cajon.
This is why I decided to pick using Barstow needles and Mojave with Cajon in it. I'm not doing it for West Colton. I really don't care about West Colton if I'm using Barstow. But that's just more to get the trains moving. I'll probably just, I don't know what I'll do with those cars there. I'll probably delete them or something. I'll just have them spawn, yeah.
Be interested to see an actual NS route in Run 8. I mean, they don't really have any NS. Come to think of it, there might be a bit, but that's like the one major one that they don't have.
I don't know why I'm thinking they do, but they don't.
I mean,
They have NS going
they
through
might have been-
Florida.
Yeah, they have it going through, but they don't have it operational really.
No.
And in the Northeast, I don't think there's anything much. I know there's probably a bit, but
No, there isn't.
not even a bit. Well,
No.
yeah, that's one.
I
thing
always
to
I
shy
always
away
told
from.
them to do Folkestone. Or not Folkestone, Fostoria.
Yeah,
If they wanted to do, there was a time where they thought about it. I said, yeah, do Fostoria.
I would always like a Chicago. I know that
They wanted to work
I
on
know that came
something.
up at some point, but just the idea of Rochelle and a lot of those other places.
Well, I don't know if that's what they were working on. Not the Rochelle part, but
Rochelle to me it would be a cooler part of it because you have BNSF and the UP, you have the diamond and the yards into a facility. I think that's pretty cool.
yeah.
Like I said, NS, I already know what road I'd want Pittsburgh line because that's probably their biggest line, most interesting one.
See, that's the thing, and it when you get to wanting to do something else, I mean, you basically you get into an operation, you get used to a certain operation, kind of like what I do with this, except I could expand. I can change the track work. I can do a few things. Run 8, I can't do that. So that's where I always like this is that advantage here. That doesn't deter me from Run 8 though.
Yeah. Yeah, I certainly like a lot of what's going on in the southeast and the northeast.
Mm-hmm.
I think they have a lot of potential.
I'm waiting to see. They talk about regions. I want to see what they're coming out with,
Yeah.
and I just hope it's not going to be as big. I mean, if it is, it is. I don't care now because there's AI dispatching, so it really doesn't. It really, honestly, that's changed the game for Run 8.
Yeah.
And I never expected it because I didn't think they had enough going on that they were going to actually try it.
Just thinking, because I
What?
was thinking about Kansas City Southern. Did they ever get their merger?
I think so. I don't know if it got approved by the board or whatever. Approved by the transportation safety thing. I think it did. Or
What?
not transport or the
Who's it with? CP or CN?
CP.
Impressive.
Yeah, they outbid CN.
That was weird. CN outbid them, and then CP outbid them again.
Yeah, or something. I don't know. Whatever. I don't pay attention to that shit. I don't care about different color engines.
Yeah, I think they have an option for a lot of like more local short lines too, like stuff like the Buffalo and Pittsburgh would be
For
really
who?
good for Run 8.
Hmm.
I think Buffalo and
Yeah,
Pittsburgh
but-
would be a great route.
Yeah, what you think is a great route, there's hundreds that have others that think it's a great route too.
Yeah,
And as long as it's closed for them, it's always going to be something that if they always keep it so that, and this goes back, and it's a criticism, but it's not a deterror. As long as they don't have tools to be able to create a map, or the ability to be able to submit a map or something for review or consideration, then I don't know how they plan on doing all this.
Yeah.
I hope they focus on DLC now. They honestly do not need to focus on other than updates, perhaps, but bug fixes, whatever. But I hope they focus on DLC again. I want them to make money, but I want them to do it in such a way where, number one, they get their money's worth, but at the same time they sell it for a certain value and get enough that makes it worthwhile for them.
Yeah. I think things like smaller routes at good prices are probably the thing that would get them a lot of the money.
Yeah, but you got to look at popularity. A lot of people want to run the big routes. That's proven. Whoops. I mean,
It's proven by the Southwest.
the Windy City would be a cluster of.
Yeah.
Northern Pacific would be neat all by itself. I think you said Northern Pacific.
Yeah.
NP. Yeah.
Could be no problem. I don't know. I do interpret.
I don't really. Oh, maybe. No, I don't really like dealing with not enough pi, also known as.
Actually.
Let's do Hatchapy.
That should be pretty cool.
I don't understand the pi part.
I think the joke of Tehachapi because it ends with a PI like pi.
Oh, I see.
Not enough pi, aka Tehachapi.
Not enough p.
Yeah,
pi.
I say it wrong.
Okay.
North Platte. Oh. Yeah.
Oh, yes. There's one.
That whole route will be really good because
Jesus.
it has a lot of traffic, but it's
Yeah, but
actually
you want to know the thing that North Platte's going to get criticized for? It's going to be too much like California.
I disagree.
I'm talking about openness.
Well, yeah, kind of.
It won't be desert-like, but it's going to be plain-like.
It depends upon how far you go.
I don't know.
Because if you're heading out towards the Rockies,
You're not going to go that far. I don't think.
depends upon which direction you want to go from North Platte.
Yeah, I
Or
suppose.
if you want to go both directions or what.
Well, you'd have the 4 tracks or
You
whatever
could go to Lincoln, Nebraska, and then go all the way up to Denver if you wanted to.
Yeah. I'd be okay with that. But if you're gonna do North Platte, you got to have all the
The
tracks.
thing with North Platte too is I believe there's a 3-track main line heading out of it, so it's fairly easy to dispatch. Even though it has
There's a 4-track.
Yeah, it's a 4-track that turns into a 3-track.
Yeah,
It's insane.
I know. We remember.
I remember that. Like that's what I remember most.
And it was friggin' yeah. It was just.
The traffic was fun too.
Oh yeah, I
Going
know.
up in that tower, you can see everything.
Well, you remember driving along that road?
Yeah,
With all
just
this-
North Platte yard limits would be good too. Just honestly, just
Oh
that.
come on,
I mean, I'd go further for me, but
North Platte yard limits. Hell, even I'd get bored of that.
there's a lot in there.
Ain't enough in there, dude.
Oh, another one that would be really interesting is Bellevue, Ohio.
Yes,
With that
Bellevue, Ohio. Yes, there's your NS route right there. That's
You guys never
actually a
go
good
through
one.
anything, just Bellevue, Ohio.
That's actually a good one. Well, no, you can have some lines stretching out and shit like that.
But the amount of lines that converge in that town, not to mention the oh god, what's the short line? What is it, Wheeling?
Wheeling in West Virginia?
I think it's a Wheeling and Lake Erie.
Oh, okay.
Wheeling and Lake Erie and Wheeling and West Virginia are kind of funny because they both kind of go Wheeling and go somewhere else. Go south and goes north. I believe they're owned by the same company too.
Yep.
And I only have to
Oh, the hell happened?
Those ones are always broken apart, I believe.
Oh, I think they were already.
But yeah,
I think
Bellevue,
they're-
Ohio would be a good one.
Jesus.
You might want to watch any links and pins here. I'm not sure if they're correct.
Huh?
No, they're not there.
I know. It's one of the things all over it.
Jesus. Yeah, they got a lot of chances where there's some routes that don't even need to be that big that would have a lot of running room.
Mm-hmm.
Bellevue has a hump too, so
Yeah, I know. I know it does. That's why as soon as you said it, I was like, yeah, okay.
that's an obviously over Fostoria for me is the fact that it has the hump. Like, people would want to play it.
Oh, crap. Do I got a break against me? I don't care. I'm just going to shove these things together.
I think you are.
I need the last
You're
one.
good.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, we're all good.
I don't think so. If you think so.
You good there?
Yes, I know. I'm just checking. Actually, I want to check the brakes. I know I've already checked these, but
Good.
yes.
Good.
Gouda. Uh-huh. Yep.
Yes, connection there. No, Gouda. It's all Gouda.
Uh-huh. Oh, I wonder if I should go around that thingy. Or should I just go backwards?
Is there any switches against you? You probably want to flick a switch.
Well, I know that. I got a bunch of switches against me. No, I'm talking about going forward, coming back around the roundy thingy and going that way.
Well, do you need to get the
I don't
number too, or?
No. I just want this. I'm not taking more than 7 cars. Are you kidding? Huh?
Or you just flick the switch wrong?
What do you mean I flicked the switch wrong?
You did.
Oh. Oh. Wrong one. Got another switch against me over here, and I don't feel like stopping once I get going. Ugh, it's a ways away, though. I miss my CTC.
Oh, what was
I was running around the map to flick switches. What the hell's going on here? What is this, the 1880s? Jesus.
Yeah, I was working on signals in my
Just the
train
yard alone would take. Just the yard alone would take years to model in the game. I would not want that job trying to model North Platte. Period.
I'd take it.
Wouldn't need to extend North Platte too far. Just extend enough mains to get get rid of outbounds. Yeah, North Platte could easily be a beast, and those that like breakdowns assembly be in their glory. Actually, I mean, just to be a hump, no. It wouldn't be for me. I would have to. How would you say this? I like the variety of having the hump, some locals. Not too many locals though. I don't like having to go all the way down to friggin' Orlando and honk at every crossing for about 50 miles and.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Scott with the last thing you just posted. I love the little pockets of industry in like big industrial places and things like that. I think that's really cool. If they had a more heavily industrial route, but like not very large, I'd be really cool with that. Like some steel mills or something. like around Pittsburgh, something like that would be really cool to me.
Well, you would probably like Florida.
Yeah, Florida's pretty cool.
Because if you look at Taft, the industrial area, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And that for me is too much. I don't want to switch Taft. You might like to switch Taft. I don't want to switch Taft.
I love industrial areas because then you have to go through switching puzzles, all sorts of things.
Yeah, well, there's switching puzzles.
That's my thought behind industrial areas.
Well, they have the Kern as well. That has a little bit of it,
Yeah.
and the oil junction and a few things around that to have it. There's lots of industry within North Platte.
Yeah, there is.
I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah, but for me though, I at least like a little bit of trackage
Yes.
to run main lines.
Yeah, I still want to. That goes back to the whole model railroad club. I like variety.
I would like just having a line to Lincoln, Nebraska from North Platte. That would be enough to fulfill me.
Lincoln, Nebraska.
Also because there's 3-track section in between towards Chicago. It's very, very busy. And that's really the closest town.
I don't care about 3-track main lines. They're boring.
They are busy though.
Yeah, I know. I like needles, but you think the AI dispatcher's going to be able to handle that? Friggin' throw you in front of trains. No, the AI dispatcher works pretty good when it comes to sightings. But I did hear something interesting. Trains have a flashing yellow, so they have the advanced approach. Right? They come to the next signal, it's red. So I know what's happened because I think I've seen at least one YouTube video where it was happening and they didn't really explain it, but I swear that the meet was set up differently, and then all of a sudden you went from the one siding to the siding closer to where the one is, so it basically cut off the siding. So it changed the plan as things got thing. The problem with that is you cannot take away. You cannot make a route more restrictive on an approach without the crew's permission.
Yeah.
Yes, you can. Yes, they run time and all that other crap, but you cannot do that. So you got a flashing yellow. That's an advanced approach. You are not expecting a stop. You're expecting an approach.
Yeah.
So that's just wrong.
I just thought of an idea for some routes, like just having a city.
Yeah, I'm not much for short lines. What's
No,
that?
not a short line. Just...
No, what Scott's saying. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead. What's that?
I just think just having a city, like having a city that you model like the rail around it, and that's just it. Like something like Kansas City or Detroit.
Oh yeah.
Where there's some good industry and some good interchanges.
Yeah.
And it has a lot of ability for a lot of different trains to be doing stuff. Like for Detroit, you could have the CN trains coming in, and the CP trains coming in.
Yeah.
And then the interactions that they have all over town, all the different steel mills and whatnot around there. And yeah, I think that'd be really cool. Kansas City, you have...
Well, you got that in L.A.
Yeah. Kansas City, you have things like CSX, BNSF, UP, Kansas City Southern, and NS, all interacting.
What about L.A.? You've got that.
How much do you got in LA for that?
Quite a bit.
Well, I mean, I know there's a lot of industry.
Yeah.
I understand that there's obviously the short line.
Yeah.
But my question is, does it have the interchanges?
Yes.
I mean...
It doesn't have Watson Yard. It doesn't have... there's a few things it doesn't have. I know that. Mm-hmm. But... No, I say, yeah, it does.
It does, yeah, but I think there's more of an opportunity for some other places too. Where I think it'd be quite interesting. Kansas City is one of the big ones in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Because it has all the major railroads probably.
Could you grab me a snack, Emma?
Yep, thank you.
Thanks.
It's even got Canadian railroads that go into that.
I forgot to mention, two's headed back out of the depot, heading back to Oilfield.
Racing.
I think I'm gonna go backwards in. If I can brake in time, which I probably can't. Nope.
Just I was just thinking about something interesting. They don't have any. They don't have.
Oh, what am I doing? I'm not even using the breaker. I got it in forward. What?
They don't have any. I just think that weird, funny stuff. And
Yeah,
they
I'm
don't have
doing-
any
I'm doing funny
interactions with Ferromex. In Rhode Island. That would be something they have the opportunity to do. They're pretty close.
Yeah, but then you have to get into a more modern era, which they don't do.
What area is it based on?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what the hell it's on anymore because they just
They
upgraded.
modernized a lot of
They
stuff.
upgraded some of the track, and then some of it they didn't do. They picked and chose.
They pick and choose what they wanted for operations,
Exactly.
which is okay.
Yeah, I'm alright with it.
Fair enough for me. But yeah, they don't have any interaction with Mexican stuff, so I think that's
Non-existent earthquakes and all kinds of other shit.
Oh yes.
Yeah, whatever.
They made a show about that. They made it come true. 'Cause Los Angeles had the earthquake, right?
Yeah, I know it's a Friday. I'm glad it's a Friday.
That's not lying.
Better not be Thursday.
No, it's Friday.
I know. He's saying when did it become Friday?
I thought it was Thursday this morning myself.
Oh, there you go. I didn't.
I know it's not now.
Well, good for you.
Yeah, I think Granite has a lot of opportunity.
We'll see.
What my thought is on it.
I think the package that they have right now is good enough for me. They have potential to do more.
Yeah, that's my thoughts on it. The package right now is.
I had no problem putting $50 down. I had no problem.
Yeah.
And I was ready to do it, even though you know my.
Oh, how'd the AI help work out for you?
Works fine.
Good.
Yeah, it had to have the word hump. That's why. But yeah, it was working fine.
That's
Well, I think you knew that part, but
Yeah, I knew it was working fine. Did you pump the 2 strings of it to the?
yeah.
Cool.
The only thing I can't get to work at Barstow right now is westbound trains with a symbol that's heading into Barstow will not go into the yard, and I'm not too sure why. But I know they go into West Colton.
Yeah.
So I looked at the routings. The routings make sense to me. The only thing I can think of is that something screwed up on the.
So they won't go into receiving. Will they go into inspection?
I don't know where they go. The only thing I can think of is to somehow throw a restricting signal. That's what I might have to do. See, the problem is if I throw a restricting signal, I think what I can do is I can take manual control over the switch and give a restricting signal when I want to bring somebody in. He can take me up to the signal, but I think track 3 would be exclusive for inbound trains. It doesn't say anything anywhere about it because they don't explain that. But I think it needs to have a routing of some sort. And there's no... Well, there is a routing, though. Should be the damn switch that goes in there. I don't know. They have a routing at East. Well, their only routing is track 3. Must take track 3. Crazy thing is, all of a sudden I get a bunch of other trains that start using track 3, then I'm screwed.
Yeah.
And using track 3 is just for stuff that's going into Barstow is kind of stupid. But I don't know.
Alright, stop. Another thing I'd like to see.
Uh-oh.
Mine's
What?
kind of running wild. Buffalo would be good.
Oh, of course. No, that don't worry about that. You don't have to worry about that. Trust me.
Why not?
Yeah, I can't say. Am I allowed to say? I don't know if I'm allowed to say. All these non-disclosure agreements and shit.
Closer to my home, I'd like it. That's the way I look at it.
Huh?
Closer to what I know. That's why I think Buffalo would be cool just for me.
Well, I want them to keep going. Come into Niagara.
Yeah, well, that's something that they might actually want to do because of the CP train, because of the intermodal trains.
There you go.
And there's a reason.
I'll give them all the information they want.
Yeah. I mean, we don't have the
then
most information in the world.
Then I can run Niagara.
Niagara would be too hard to model. That's the thing.
Huh?
Depending upon how good their program is for making stuff, I don't think Niagara would be too hard to model.
I had a hard time with it and with trains once I got into the
there's
grades.
some elevation issues, yeah, and
Yeah.
that's one of trains' weaknesses in general. And I've been struggling with that too because I'm trying to build realistic mountains and whatnot. I'm trying to figure out heights and everything.
Well,
It's
the
hard to
problem
understand.
isn't the problem isn't the game or the sim. The problem is the quality of the resolution for the thingy. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to do because I was trying to import some of those and use them for mountains
Yeah.
because they take a long time to sculpt and stuff, right?
Mhm.
But it just doesn't look right.
Mhm.
So I have to sculpt it myself, which okay, fair enough. I'm okay at that.
Well, you gotta get the high resolution data. There's some high resolution data of mountains.
Yeah. Yeah, I've ended up with a little break from my main route right now. So just want to make a small little industrial. It's been fun. I'm almost done that, so I'll be playing it a bit. Yeah, I still think Red 8 has a lot of potential for what they can do.
Yeah. See, I get burnt out on just switching like this all the time too.
Yeah, I know what you mean. You need variation. You need to be able to have long runs and switching, whatever you want to do, right?
Yeah, but you don't really get long runs here.
Yeah. That's the biggest flaw of the game right now, I'd say.
Mhm.
This game. I don't think that'll be a flaw that will last forever, though. This game has a ton of potential, though, still, too.
Of course it does.
Insane amounts of potential. I love how the updates are just flowing in.
I don't.
Well, I know some of the updates you are against right now.
No. It's nuts. I'm used to seeing updates every and they're just piling the shit on. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
I can't keep track of it because now I can't even. I don't even know what the updates are anymore.
Well, the latest update.
There's a bunch of them
Yeah.
in one.
The latest update that I know of, which was yesterday, was that they changed the prices for materials.
Yes, I know that. But there was a bunch of other updates within it.
Fun. Yeah, there's some smaller updates with it. I remember them yesterday. I don't remember them now.
It's all right.
Personally, I'd rather them be working on larger updates than
Well,
having the small ones, though I understand why they do it. Especially with bug fixes, that makes a lot of sense. They don't have too many bugs right now, though, which is good.
yeah, it's amazing. Not that I see, anyway.
Yeah, I haven't seen a real big bug in a while. That's actually been nagging us a lot.
No.
They have it pretty stable now. And now they can probably now the second they introduce something new, they're probably gonna
Then it'll
they're probably gonna descend it back to chaos.
then it'll go nuts because it'll destroy everybody's.
That's just the way the development goes.
Yeah.
No, right now though, since they don't have bugs, for me, I think they should be working on a larger update. But once again, it's obviously
Mhm.
their game. I think the reason why they do the small updates is because people whine all the time. But it's a tough situation because you want to keep your fan base happy. But this is not the right platform. This is not the right platform. What are you doing? This is the boxes.
Well, it didn't let me. That's why it wouldn't let me.
Oh yes. I forgot it does that.
Smart.
Yeah, thankfully. I'm sure you have a lot more screw ups over for that. Uh-oh.
What?
I thought you pressed the wrong button.
No. What is this price thing coming? I don't even know what the price is anymore.
69,000.
No, I know that.
That's great.
So did they increase the prices, or?
I think some were increased, some were decreased.
Oh, okay.
It's not really better or worse. That's what I've been finding with the last couple updates. But I think the one update made it a little easier. But it's more of just a different. Not really better or worse, just different. Take some time to adjust to them. Should have acclimated us.
Okay, what's going on now? So you got tools, you got all these beams in here that you just devoured.
And steel pipes got devoured too. So now
You already devoured all the beams?
yeah, a lot of them are needed in the process.
Oh, okay. Oh, they're still going. Yeah, but where'd they go? They're gone.
They got processed.
And they get processed, their inputs.
Well, yeah, they got processed
To what?
to crude oil.
Oh! Oh, you mean the 225 all of a sudden I got?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Do you know how many friggin' tank cars that is?
Not exactly, no.
Well,
It does take more crude oil.
well, I'll give you a hint. If you got 12, you got 120. That's a 10-car tank train. We're getting near 20 cars now.
It does take a lot of tank cars, though, at the refinery.
Yeah, I know that.
16.
But I got I can load 4 tank cars at a time. I don't want to be switching around making these stupid trains all the time, just to get. Well, I guess I'd be getting tons of. Ugh, I don't know.
I think there's too much output, too.
Way too much.
I think it became a little too easy with that. Not enough materials for too much output. Except for the refinery. The refinery, I think, is actually balanced.
Eh. Come on, play this for a while. I'm gonna fall asleep. Come on, Emmett.
We only have 30 minutes.
Well, that's okay. You can have the last 30. I'm gonna fall asleep.
Sure. What needs to be done?
Huh?
What needs to be done?
Find something.
Alright. You have the sheets open or no?
There are no sheets.
Oh, yes. I forgot they're useless.
Yeah, I know. You just have to figure it out. I don't know. You can spot some tanks. You can go somewhere else. I don't know.
Well, the tank's off the track, so that makes it harder.
Yeah, it's called re-railing.
Yeah, I'm not a re-rail guy, but
Oh, you're not a re-rail guy. I'm sorry.
yeah, tools only takes one, and that's I don't know, 2 and 1 or something. It's weird.
Well, you can go get two. Oh yeah, the tools they only take one. That's right. That's why the tools didn't go down.
And it actually makes sense because like you don't need pipes and beams and boxes that much to make oil, so it actually makes logical sense. But as far as it goes with logistics, I don't think it makes as much sense. It's the same thing for the. It's the same thing for the.
Makes sense.
It's the same thing for the ore, where you don't need all those things to get ore all the time. You just don't. So
What the hell do you need to get all this oil? You get the little pump thing and you just go blump, blump, blump.
exactly. So that's why.
So why does it
make
even
sense.
need an input
Well,
to get the output?
I've asked that all along, but it makes sense as far as it goes to being
The
able to drop
operation of the
stuff
company?
off. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think that's going to be the case long term either, once they have more industries. But that is not right now.
So, where are the tools going to go to? A tool store?
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, tools could go places.
Yeah, that's what I liked it. It made more sense before. Now it just.
No, I know what you mean.
It wasn't
though.
perfect, but.
Or if you think, well, tools should also be going to the logging camp, but that would create a catch-42. But then we can't have that.
And trust me, this isn't because Run 8, guys. I was already feeling this way.
Yeah, I know how you feel. I like this game, but it has a lot of work to be done still on the logistics side of things.
Yeah. Welcome to the basement. What you doing now?
I'm dropping these cars here. I guess I can
Okay.
transfer over to the tanks.
Tanks?
Yeah, I'll spot them.
Are you gonna spot him with a Eureka?
Makes sense. It's one of the weaker units, thus giving it more ability to spot.
Hard to see.
Oh, man, it's a Eureka. It's not that big.
Yeah. Okay, if I have a nap, don't kill me.
Okay.
Watch the chat. Be nice to the chat.
Hi.
I wanna have
Hey, it's a Russian.
I'm going to have a nap now. Before I fall asleep during wrestling.
Good point. You can have a nap before your nap. So then
I'm
you
having a nap now.
Well, yeah, you're having a nap before your nap.
Where's my blankie?
Behind my head.
Give me my blankie. Kill my. There we go. Okay, guys. Say stupid shit, Emmett. Entertain
Yeah.
my YouTube.
I'll be sure to say stupid shit.
Huh?
I'll be sure to say stupid shit.
Awesome.
Probably not gonna talk much.
You're probably not gonna talk much. Well,
I'll just say stupid stuff when I do.
read the chat too, and
Yeah, I'll read the chat. I'll say stuff about Run 8, because why not? It seems like everybody's
we have to
wanting
stay
to
on
do
talking
that.
about Run 8. This is the thing you like.
I like this game too, but
Oh!
I like this too.
Oh! Did I just hear something?
Why?
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. I like this game too, but
But
Whoa,
it seems that
whoa,
everybody's talking about Run 8 right now, is what I was going to say.
oh, I thought you were thinking about Run 8 now.
I like to think about it because I think there's a lot of potential.
Oh.
I'm just not the most interested in the game as in its current state.
Oh, okay.
That's the way I look at it.
All right.
I don't mind it right now. but
I thought something. I thought suddenly you had the Run 8 bug. That's what I
No.
was getting at. Oh, okay.
I'm
You
still
don't
safe.
have- Huh? Emmett don't have the Run 8 bug. Daddy does.
And I know this is gonna probably piss a lot of people off, but I don't know what's so interesting about version 3. Like, what new does it add, really? I mean, the AI hub's cool. The AI dispatcher is okay.
Okay. You don't understand what that does.
I know what the AI dispatcher does to a certain extent, but I don't think it's good enough. That's just my thoughts.
It's an improvement. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, it's good for
Emmett,
single player. I'll tell you that much.
Emmett.
But
Here's the thing. Put yourself in my shoes. I'm running a server or single player or whatever the hell you want to call it, or bring a few people on,
mhm.
and I'm sitting by myself one night. This is exactly the last time where I had enough of Run 8 was when I gave up on it.
Yeah.
And I remember the exact day I did it. I don't remember the date, I don't remember, but I know what happened that day. I was the only one on my server. I was dispatching trains that were doing nothing. They weren't going anywhere. They weren't doing nothing. They weren't part of anything. I was just dispatching them for the sake of dispatching them.
Mm-hmm.
I was moving stuff around that I had moved the other day. So basically, I was just doing my stuff, and that was it. So I lost that multiplayer ability. Okay. Ooh, nice one.
Yeah, I knew I kicked them pretty hard, but that was my idea.
Oh, that was your idea.
I wanted to hit him back to the other car because I didn't want to hit them and then knock the other car back.
Oh, I see. Gotcha. So, what's it done now? Before, if you wanted to run Barstow and you wanted to hump the yard, you had to get on your engine. You had to set the speed to 2.2 miles an hour, and you had to watch every car go over the hump. Boom, 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 boom. And it takes 20 some odd minutes, possibly, or whatever the hell it is, to hump each train. There's 20 minutes in your session to hump one train.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have an AI dispatcher as well. See, if it just had that, I could see it would still be better, but it wouldn't have been enough for me.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that it has an AI dispatcher as well, even if it's not perfect, and it doesn't need to be perfect, the whole point
No.
of AI, point of AI is to move shit.
Yeah, it's to move the train so
It's
that
to
you
move
see it.
shit.
And I understand that.
It's to bring new shit in.
And it makes sense. It makes sense a lot for if there's not enough people on a server and no one wants to dispatch.
Exactly.
But at the same time, a lot of people like to dispatch.
Oh, I love dispatch. Hey, I was saying this earlier. Dude, I love dispatching. I love dispatching. Okay? However, if I love dispatching, okay, put it this way, if I love dispatching enough, and I really want to, all I have to do is run the AI and let it do its thing and boom. But it's different when you're talking about an entire system. Put it this way: if I'm on the one group, the Southwest server, okay. If I'm on our Southwest server, that Mike has, I go on that server. Even if he doesn't have that many people around, he's usually got enough people around who are interested in running and possibly dispatching alongside you.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes it interesting, the handoffs and all that other stuff, and the planning of the handoffs and stuff like that. So there you have a purpose. When you're on your own, you don't really have that much of a purpose other than moving trains and trying to be efficient.
Yeah.
Kind of like Train Dispatcher 3.
Yeah.
Except it's not as good as Train Dispatcher 3 because the scheduling system sucks. And it still sucks.
Yeah.
But just because it still sucks doesn't mean it's not workable. It is. There's just limitations to that. The limitations are not enough to prevent you from enjoying it.
Yeah.
The limitation before was you had to line your own routes.
Mm-hmm.
You were forced to line your own routes. And for me to be able to do Barstow and line a bunch of trains that are doing nothing, or maybe the odd one that comes in. So if I have trains that can actually line themselves into yards, which apparently can happen, although I'm still trying to understand it, and even if it doesn't, as long as it gets my train there, I'll be happy enough.
Yeah.
Or close enough to where I can take it over and and fleet a signal in or whatever, because you can help Otto or whatever his name is to set up the some of the tracks and all that other crap. So no, it has tons of potential right now.
Yeah, I agree with potential, and I think that's the case.
Not only does it have tons of potential, it has tons of current ability. I haven't even touched the surface on what I can do right now. Check the chat. I'm sure somebody will mention something.
No one's talking.
Nobody's talking. All right, nobody wants to talk about Ren anymore.
Nobody wants to talk to me.
They sleeping.
They don't like me.
Oh.
They got mad when you left. I just
They got
rode
mad
with the
when I
hatch. I just rode with the hatch.
Huh?
As the hatch opened, I just, like, the hatch moved me.
Oh, cool. Do you want to do a save?
Yeah, I'll just move the next card forwards.
Just remind Chris that that the save's coming, and also that we'll be ending. We have to end at 10:02.
Yep.
Okay.
Chris, if you want, I could pop in a save right now. I'm free to do so.
Yeah, that's fine.
Alright. Just don't forget that we have a hard end at 9:50.
Yeah, I'm not doing anything. I can't stop.
What?
Alright. He's not doing anything, you can't stop by then. Is what I'm saying.
Oh,
I was confused at first, too.
I was thinking, I'm not doing anything. I can't stop.
I can't stop. Help. Yeah. That's how I interpreted it. Hello, David.
David's on the chat.
Yes.
There it
Can't find Goliath.
is. Huh?
David and Goliath.
Oh.
Never mind.
You're such an ass.
I like making jokes.
You make jokes with people's names, you idiot. Ignore my son, he's an asshole.
Lol, you're such an ass.
What?
Lol, you're such an ass. That's such a good response.
Good. I could say something about I'm not an ass. See, you like doing the switching and stuff like this, right?
I forgot to put a break on that.
Or what?
This tank car.
Or what?
Tank car's just rolling.
Well, why don't you get out and get this?
I had to get my unit out of the way.
It's gonna derail.
Yeah.
No, it'll stop itself. It'll stop itself. There it goes.
I'll ride it back. I'll stop it on the spot.
Bounce back. Don't stop it yet. Make sure it's cleared the.
No, I'm going straight to the end. If it won't let me.
Oh, you had it spotted?
Yes. And it just kept rolling after I spotted it. Even though I deconnected from it and everything. I guess I forgot to put the brake on it. That's my lesson.
What the hell is this thing still rolling?
Don't question it. Yeah, they roll very, very weirdly when they bounce.
Well, how could it have rolled all the way the one way, now it's rolling all the way the other? And it's not losing momentum.
It doesn't make sense. Don't question it.
Fair question. I want to take a snooze, but I keep talking.
Might have stopped it a bit sooner. Yeah, let's see what I can do here. Oh, problem not solved. I can solve it still. It's not over yet.
You could have got it in. A little bit. Put the brake on.
Turn the brake off. 1 second.
Put the brake on. Brake on. Or you lose
I won't
it
do
again.
anything. Yeah, but it's in a terrible spot. Look.
Does it miss the thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't test it with that. I mean, you can. You got like friggin' loaded with oil right now. If you wanted to test it, you could.
No. Won't move.
Oh, damn it.
I'll get it after.
Putting everybody else to sleep now.
It's fairly smooth. I'll learn from my mistakes this time. Forget what I was gonna say about Run 8 now.
Switching.
Maybe? I don't know. Oh, have there been any updates to how the industry's working, Renee?
Not that I know.
How do they work? Because I forget. Do they actually spawn and despawn items, or do they just sit and you have to do it yourself?
They will spawn certain items, but for the most part, they change the balance of the train by loaded or empty.
Alright. Alright. Alright, Chris, I'm ready to log off whenever you're ready for a save.
Yeah, let me just, I'm putting these black cars on the siding. Once they're stopped and the brakes are on, I'll let you know.
Roger that. What the heck? This thing will not move inwards anymore. Let's see what happens if I turn it the other way. That's something I've never seen before. Interesting.
Alright, we're all good to save.
Alrighty then, I'll pop a saving. Alright, game is saved. I'll just text it real quick. Alright then, I guess that is all for tonight. I guess we'll be seeing you tomorrow, not sure.
Yeah, tomorrow morning, guys.
Yeah, still talking to Chris.
Huh?
Still
Yeah, I'll
talking.
see you tomorrow.
Alright, see ya.
Have a good night.
You too.
Night, Chris.
Night, Chris. Alrighty, guys. That's it for tonight. It's 9:50. Time for wrestling.
See if I can wake up.
Had a really weird bug that happened to me.
Okay.
I was trying
And the
trying to do some
Tell me.
stuff. Yeah.
Alright.
Alright.
Okay.
See you guys tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning, guys. We'll do Run 8 first, and then we'll do Railroads Online possibly later in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
See ya. Alrighty.